A wise man does not grieve for what he has not, but rejoices in what he has. A wise man learns more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. Attack the evil that is within yourself, rather than attacking the evil that is in others. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Exemplary persons are consistent and sincere. They do not merely talk the talk, they walk the walk. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. It is better to light one small candle than to curse the darkness. It is easy to hate and it is difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things works. All good things are difficult to achieve, and bad things are very easy to get. It is not the failure of others to appreciate your abilities that should trouble you, but rather your failure to appreciate theirs. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. Study the past if you would define the future. The essence of knowledge is having it to apply it, not having it to confess your ignorance. The faults of a superior person are like the sun and moon. They have their faults, and everyone sees them, they change, and everyone looks up to them. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. The hardest thing of all is to find a black cat in a dark room, especially if there is no cat. The journey with 1,000 miles begins with one step. The man of wisdom is never of two minds. The man of benevolence never worries. The man of courage is never afraid. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. The man who has committed a mistake and doesn't correct it is committing another mistake. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. The noble-minded are calm and steady. Little people are forever fussing and fretting. The perfecting of one's self is the fundamental base of all progress and all moral development. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his actions. The superior man does not, even for the space of a single meal, act contrary to virtue. In moments of haste he cleaves to it, in seasons of danger he cleaves to it. The superior man honors his virtuous nature and maintains constant inquiry and study. The superior man is modest in his speech but exceeds in his actions. The superior man seeks what is right, the inferior one, what is profitable. The superior man understands what is right, the inferior man understands what will sell. The way out is through the door. Why is it that no one will use this method? The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. They must often change. Who would be constant in happiness or wisdom? To be able under all circumstances to practice 5 things constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 things are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. To be wealthy and honored in an unjust society is a disgrace. To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it. To go beyond is as wrong as to fall short. To know what is right and not do it is the worst cowardice. To see and listen to the wicked is already the beginning of wickedness. To see what is right and not do it is a lack of courage. To study and not think is a waste. To think and not study is dangerous. Virtue is not left to stand alone. He who practices it will have neighbors. What the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. When anger rises, think of the consequences. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. When we see men of worth, we should think of equaling them. When we see men of a contrary character, we should turn inward and examine ourselves. When you have faults, do not fear to abandon them. When you see a good person, think of becoming like him. When you see someone not so good, reflect on your own weak points. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart.